Time to go ahead and check out what's happening on Wall Street right now. This is the Money Master. Today, the deputy editor for MoneyNews.com, Rob Williams, joins us. Rob, thanks so much for joining us. Here we go. Friday, Wall Street's in business. What do the numbers look like right now?
Thank you, Ed. Well, today stock markets are surging, rebounding strongly after dipping earlier this week. We have the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 220 points, or 1.3%, to 17,020. We have the S&P up 24 points to 1970, and the NASDAQ up 53 points to 4,038. Meanwhile, gold fell 1.8% to close at below $1,200 an ounce.
The big story that we're following, we're going to take a couple of minutes to talk about it right here. The J.P. Morgan password leading hackers to 76, and some have even said 80 million households. I mean, this has got to be something that has everybody on Wall Street, every major company right now sitting up and taking notice, because no matter what anybody seems to do, Rob, there's a new one of these almost every couple of days.
Well, I think that's what's most disturbing about this incident is not only the scale of it, 76,000 or 76 million accounts compromised. We were told only a few weeks ago it was a million or so. But we're talking about the largest bank in the United States, and one that says that it's spending $250 million a year on cybersecurity.
Doesn't a lot of this, though, still come down to the person themselves, though? Because I'm reading a lot of this right now, and basically it comes down to phishing, which, as everybody knows, that's where the crooks try to basically bait you into handing over any of your valuable data like IDs and passwords. Don't people just need to really take a little personal responsibility here and just watch what happens in this communication that they're getting from different sources? Well,
yeah, I think it's interesting in these cases how often it's really what they call social engineering, where it's just a matter of getting a password from an employee or employees not being aware of proper procedures to follow, and they end up compromising their company's network.
Rob, do you think that these big companies really know when they find these breaches what's going on? It seems like they're really just guessing at this point how people are getting in.
Well, I think they don't want to reveal too much. J.P. Morgan isn't really saying a lot beyond this filing, and I think they may be doing the right thing there because they don't want to draw a roadmap for other hackers. Like, oh yeah, these guys allegedly from Russia, we don't know. This is how they did it. Why don't we try it?
Yeah, let's not do that. That wouldn't be good at all. All right, Rob, thanks so much for giving us the numbers, my friend. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Ed.
All right. At a time in America where one group of people was seen as being unable to function as citizens, one man turned the tide, started this nation on the path to true equality. The focus in this American place is the home of Frederick Douglass.
Perched minutes away from the United States Capitol sits stately Cedar Hill, purchased in 1877 by famous abolitionist Frederick Douglass. After freeing himself from slavery, he became a minister of African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church. Encouraged by his Christian faith and gifted as an orator and writer, Douglass spent decades seeking to free all slaves. During the Civil War, Douglass became a friend and advisor to Abraham Lincoln, who Douglass said was the greatest president. Visitors will find Lincoln's favorite walking stick resting in the house, a gift of appreciation from Lincoln's widow, Mary. Douglass expanded the home's original 14 rooms to 21, including a 2-story library. He needed a home close to official Washington because Republican President Rutherford B. Hayes, appointed him Marshal of the District of Columbia, marking the first time an African American won Senate approval for a federal appointment. But despite all of Douglass's success, life was a constant struggle. Outside Cedar Hill sits what was known as the Growlery, so called because this one-room building was a respite for Douglass to growl and sort out the pressures of the day. Douglass was a vocal and prominent member of Washington society, championing African American and women's suffrage. His home often served as a gathering spot for other pioneers of justice and equality before the law. "I would unite with anybody to do right and with nobody to do wrong," Douglas famously said. A visitor gazing upon the spectacular views of Washington, D.C. could say this special man in this special home had helped build a mighty and free nation. I'm Lucy Celia, and this is An American Place on Newsmax TV.